Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. Since my last video, there has been a sizable free update, the Verne update. I assume it's named after Jules Verne. I did not watch any sort of a tutorial to see what has changed, but I do notice some things in the menus, and I guess I'll just try to go through them as they come up in the game. As we all know, I would probably benefit from a tutorial, but as we also know, it's not my style, and I often pay for it. But enough of that. Let's get into the game. It is the year 2548. The war in heaven rages on. We are just barely winning the war right now in terms of war exhaustion. We are 1% ahead of the Bavi. In the last video, our fleets cleared out some Scourge space, and our fleets are now on their way back to their home base to reinforce and repair. I noticed that time seems to pass a little faster now in this update, so that's cool. I'm happy to see that. I'm also noticing that my economy seems to have improved somehow. My energy credit production has gone up like 600 points. There are also a few bugs like this one. It's now notifying me again of the first wave of the Scourge. The Scourge are obviously already here, so that's a bug. If I've learned anything during this playthrough, it's that I should check my planets more often and check to see how the unemployment is and what kind of buildings I should construct. But the main reason I'm showing this screen right here, this is me moving some citizens from planet to planet, and there is suddenly some input lag on this menu, which was not there before. I guess that's because of the update. Once again, our deal to import exotic gases has run out, and once again, we will renew that deal. I think I mentioned in the last video, I don't know why I keep showing this transaction. It's a very ordinary transaction, but for some reason, I keep showing it. We've gained a colony, which, as we all know, is not necessarily good news, but one of the side effects of that colony is that we are now over our quota for star bases, so I have to downgrade one star base. Here's a new thing in the update. I assume this is not a bug. This must be a feature, but a galactic community is being created as more and more spacefaring civilizations establish formal relations with one another. The galaxy is becoming a vibrant and lively place. To avoid tragic misunderstandings between nations, an increasing number of diplomats have called for the establishment of a new pan-galactic organization. A community, if you will, where the empires of the galaxy can meet to discuss important matters. Should the PlayStation Network pledge its support for the creation of the galactic community? I guess it's like the galactic UN, basically. So we can say, yes, this is a worthy endeavor, or no, we have no time for this nonsense. But I think that it is a worthy endeavor. So we're going to go for it. So all this time, our fleets have been reinforcing. I added some more destroyers and cruisers and battleships, I think, to each fleet. And finally, I decided it was time to move down into Scourge space once again. Time does seem to be passing faster, and so that makes it appear that our ships are moving faster across the map, which is nice. I think this is actually happening. I don't think it's my imagination. I guess it could be. But we are approaching Scourge space. We are not detecting any enemy fleets. So I think we're going to go ahead and attack this system right here. You can see on the map it appears that the first wave of Scourge has arrived again. I hope this is just something on the map, and I hope that doesn't mean there are suddenly more Scourge in the galaxy, like they are arriving all over again. Our mirror dimension PlayStation Network counterparts are reporting that their economy is booming, so that's good. But also, this is a historic day. Several of the galaxy's prominent spacefaring empires, including the PlayStation Network, have announced the creation of the Galactic Community. This supranational organization will serve as a forum where matters involving the entire galaxy can be discussed and decided upon. As one of its founding members, we can take pride in this milestone of galactic history. It is a great day for the galaxy.
Hostile stationary asset engaged.
As we move into Scourge space, we get notification of the second wave. So once again, I hope this does not mean there are suddenly more Scourge, but let's kill a few Scourge, shall we? The deviant network on Abdrade Prime has been terminated, so that's good. Let's celebrate by pushing farther into Scourge space.
Hostile fleet assets engaged.
So we've taken some more Scourge space, but we've lost a few ships, and unfortunately it does look like there are suddenly more Scourge there at the bottom of the map. So our fleets are going to return to Ijajan. We've gained another colony. Once again, not necessarily good news, but we're going to repair and reinforce. But look at this. The Senate is now in session. They are trying to vote and decide upon an issue. So once again, I don't really know what I'm looking at in these screens, so I'm not going to try and explain them, but it looks like we are voting on buzzword standardization. We have to enable our enterprises to work seamlessly with one another. Streamlining strategic communications empowers our agents, making hitting key performance metrics easier. So it looks like you can call in favors. There's some, I don't know what the galactic modifier thing means, but this is the Senate floor screen, and it looks like the Sacred Ciriland have proposed buzzword standardization. It looks like everybody's kind of voting for it at this moment. Here is the proposals tab. It looks like you can see a list of the next proposals that will be brought to the floor, and then here is a list of resolutions, which I guess any one of us, any member nation could propose to bring to a vote. So it took me a while to figure out how to do this, but I went ahead and voted for buzzword standardization. I like to have standardized buzzwords in my own real life. But never mind that. We have scum and villainy on Jurg Sahul, which is one of our new colonies. So that's unfortunate. We'll build a sentinel post there. Our fleets have been repaired and reinforced, and this time I think we're going to go up this way. Fly down through Bok space and attack the Scourge in this system. We'll see how that goes. While we are on our way to do that, the Amari have made a satellite out of the Bok hegemony, I don't know how you pronounce that, but they are located up here. I don't know how the Bok got all the way up there, because their main empire is down here next to us. But never mind that. I'm not really sure whether I showed this at the time, but there was a point where we started having so many drones that I discontinued drone production on Earth and on Alpha Centauri. But we have new colonies and they need drones, so I'm going to go ahead and continue drone production on Earth. That'll cost a little bit of influence, and then I'm going to do the same thing on Alpha Centauri. Our edicts once again ran out these last 14 and a half years, but they once again expired. But we have built up enough unity and enough of just about everything really to go ahead and reinstate some of these edicts. So I'm going to improve our mineral production again, and our energy production, and our shields on our ships, our armor on our ships, energy weapon damage. I'm going to lower our consumer goods usage, and just generally improve our economy. We are about to go into battle once again, I think, so it'll be good to have our shields and armor and energy weapons boosted. Our influence will be boosted. Influence gain. Our mirror dimension counterparts are now reporting that their economy is suffering, so that sucks. They're having problems with the warp beasts once again. And as our fleets approached their objective, I noticed there are a bunch of Scourge fleets down here, and there are 3 of them totaling about 195k in military strength, which is not good. The Bok have a space station here, but it's only 15k. There's a gateway right here. But I think instead of going on down into Scourge space and probably being destroyed, I'm going to take our fleets and move them up to the northern part of the map, and we will once again attack the Bavi Zealots, which will directly help our war effort against the Bavi. And we will be using either, is that a gateway or is that a wormhole? One way or the other, we're going to travel across the galaxy in the blink of an eye. And before we knew it, we were up in the upper part of the map, preparing to attack the Bavi once again.
Hostile stationary asset engaged.
So we captured this station, and we were going to move on to this station, but it looks like the Imari are already attacking, which is good to see. They don't seem to need our help, so we are going to move on into Bavi space over this way.
Alert. Mining station deconstructed. Alert. Research station deconstructed. Hostile fleet assets engaged.
The Senate has passed the resolution on buzzword standardization, so that's a big deal, surely, for the galaxy. But unfortunately, at this point, I ran into a problem because it's telling me that my fleet is still in combat. We are not, in fact, in combat, but it will not allow me to take control of my fleet. There is a small fleet of Sacred Cyrilan troop transports nearby, and it says that we are still in combat with them, but we are not moving toward them, unfortunately. I was hoping the Imari might attack them and blow them up, and that might fix things, but the Imari just went to the spaceport and didn't do anything about the Cyrilan transports. Meanwhile, order has been restored on Abdrade Prime, so that's good news. But unfortunately, I cannot control my fleets, and so I went as far as reloading my save. And I had a bad moment because it said that there was actually an error that kicked me out of the game. And I was afraid that my game was going to be corrupted or not saved or something. But when I reloaded back in, it was okay. I was able to load back into the game, but the same issue still persisted. I could not control my fleets, and so I decided to take a drastic measure and have both of my fleets retreat, risking damage and lost ships or whatever. But we're going to go ahead and retreat and see if that restores control to us. It was actually over a year before we were able to get our fleets back. But in the meantime, once again, I renewed the deal for exotic gases to be imported. And finally, a little over a year later, our fleets reappeared all the way back across the galaxy in the Ijajan system. And so we lost a few ships during all that combat, so we're going to go ahead and repair and reinforce over here. And I think this is a decent spot to go ahead and end this video. We're actually losing the war in heaven by 1% now, but I think that might change once we capture a couple of planets up there at the top of the map. But I think we're going to leave off here, and hopefully we'll be able to take the lead once again in the war in heaven in the next video, and we'll see what happens overall. The Scourge are still a problem, but we'll see what happens. And for now, as always, thanks very much for watching.